Hello, everyone. My name is Jack Caldwell. I'm sorry I couldn't be there to read this essay in person. I'm this year's recipient of the Optimists International Scholarship, and I'll begin to read my essay. Life is hard. The stresses and worries of life are just as universal as the joy and peace in the human experience. We all walk different paths, pursue different dreams, and face different challenges, yet everybody can name a time they've struggled with the demands of life. This shared familiarity with struggle is what allows people to connect to one another. By supporting one another in trying times, people can find a sense of optimism for what is to come. Knowing that other people have experienced and conquered the same struggles as you instills a sense of hope in oneself. Optimism is contagious. According to Kilner and Lemon, mirror neurons are a class of neurons that modulate their activity both when an individual executes a specific motor act and when they observe the same or similar act performed by another individual. To put that into more simple terms, people emulate the behaviors of people they are around frequently. This can be obviously both good or bad. For example, if someone is to consistently spend time with someone who is always complaining, that person will begin to show that same behavior. On the other hand, if someone consistently spends time with someone who's cheerful, optimistic, or polite, that person will emulate those same positive characteristics. Like all things, there are exceptions to the principle of mirror neurons. Scientists believe that people can have different amounts of mirror neurons, which explains why not everyone will demonstrate this concept of learned behavior. However, most people can find a time in their lives when an individual's act of kindness or courage inspired them with hope. The optimism of one person can turn into the optimism of millions of people. A politician who promises a better tomorrow can pull hope out of people who support them. A teacher who is optimistic for the future of their students can make their students more diligent in class. A coach who's optimistic about an upcoming season can make their players feel the same way. The world we know today is evidence that optimism is contagious. Certainly one of the best examples of people being connected by optimism is sports. The culture, work ethic, and diligence found in sports are all products of optimism. The culture of a team is built by its reaction to struggle. The work ethic of an athlete is founded on the hope for success. The diligence of a teammate drives others to work harder. Sports are all about the question, what if? What if we can win the state championship? What if I can get a new personal record? What if I can become better? These are all questions I and most athletes have asked themselves. Like all sports, rowing can be frustrating. In 2022, leading up to the national championship in Camden, New Jersey, my crew and I hit a wall in practice. We were not moving as one, which is something that's essential in rowing, but rather fighting against each other. In a sport where synchronism is absolutely necessary, disconnection from one another is devastating to any effort in moving the boat. As we finished a lap around the lake, an argument broke out between two of my teammates. They were yelling at one another and blaming each other for different issues. So my coach noticed the conflict and had us pull off to the side of the lake. He explained to us that when he had talked with a parent of the team's alumni, they doubted that we were as fast as the graduated boat that won nationals a few years ago. My coach explained how this frustrated him and that we can't afford to feud with one another. He told us how much he believed in our ability to win the national championship. It was clear that if we were going to win nationals, we were going to do it together. The optimism that was instilled in us from that day on was substantial. Every practice was effective and, more importantly, meaningful. Our shared hope for the title of national champions carried us through challenging practices, poor conditions, and moments of doubt. Come race day, we did it. We won the national championship. Just as we struggled together, we won together. Whether one is looking from a scientific or emotional perspective, there's no doubt that optimism brings people together. Whether in school, sports, or the workplace, people depend on others to keep going. Without each other, people would not be able to bear the challenges of life. When people struggle together, they hope together. Optimism is not only a force that brings people together, but also one that keeps people together. Again, I would like to thank the Optimists International Club and all the local Optimist clubs for this award, and have a great night.